Okay, so today I'm going to be doing a tutorial for Illustrator, and I've got a lot of requests for doing gradients within Illustrator because Illustrator doesn't make it as easy to do gradients as Photoshop does, and a lot of people think it'd be about the same, but it's really not. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a rectangle here, just using the rectangle tool. As you can see, the fill is white and the stroke is black, and so we're going to do a gradient in the fill here. So we're going to select our fill and we're going to select this gradient button right here. There's a solid fill color and then a gradient and then one that has no fill. So we're going to select the gradient one, and that's going to pop up this menu here on the side, and this is our gradient box. And it's going to allow us to do things like stretch the different colors in different ways, decide what angle we want it in, and decide whether it is linear or radial. So we're going to work with a linear gradient, and so down here we have our two colors right now, and if we wanted to add more colors, all we have to do is simply click right underneath and we can add as many colors as we want. And to get rid of them, you select them and then select the trash can there to the right. So I'm going to get rid of them all except for these two here. So right now it's at a 0% angle, and we're going to change it to 90, and as you see, it goes, the black goes from top to the white to the bottom, and if we select -90, it just reverses that, and 180 will make it go from left to right. For some reason they made it that 180 and -180 are the same, so I don't understand why they did that, but don't bother trying to change anything with that. So now we're going to move on to how to add color to the gradient, because right now it's a grayscale and that's how it is as default. And if you double click on one of the boxes here, as you see, it pulls up this box here. Now you can either select this palette here, or you can select from this default swatches. Now if you've made your own swatches before, it'll actually import those into here, and you can select from that. But if not, then all you have is what is shown here, which is just default colors, and they're really boring and plain, and you probably don't want to use those. Now if you select one of those and go to this palette here, you can mess with the CMYK and the different colors here, or you can use an eyedropper and select a color down here. But this is I think it's just a really bad way of doing things, and so what I like to do is I like to select one of these boxes here. Oops, get rid of that. We'll select one of these boxes here, and you can see it's highlighted with a white outline, and we're going to go over here to our fill. Now if you double click on your fill, you get this larger box, which you're probably more used to, and you can select any color from here. You can type in a code, you know, anything you want. It doesn't matter, but I just entered random numbers and letters there. But as you see, you can enter codes and it'll actually change the gradient slider that you selected. And we can do the same thing to the other one, just select it, and we'll just do a lighter shade of purple on this side. Now the cool thing about this is you don't have to always work within here. You can select your gradient tool over here, and it gives you this really convenient slider where you can, you know, change the different angles. If you wait for it to see how it changes to this rotation tool, and you can rotate the gradient to different rotations, so you don't have to figure out the different angles you want, which is really nice. And also the sliders appear on here, so you can slide those up and down, and it'll give you a different look that way. And if you want to change the gradient on your stroke, right now we just have a 1 point black stroke. We'll change it to 10 so you can actually see this. All you have to do is select your stroke and select the gradient, and see now it has the exact same gradient, so we can change that by just moving this around, or here we have to use the angle for the stroke. So we're gonna select, I don't know, 90 degrees, and you can see that now the stroke on the box, around the box, is actually different than the fill. It gives this really cool 3D effect, kind of beveled, which is kind of neat. And so let's see, if you guys are wondering how to do one side's transparent and the other side's not, which is a cool effect to do if you've got more complicated gradients, or you're layering them on top. All you have to do is select one of these sliders, and the opacity is up here, and you can go from 100 to 0 or 60, whatever you want, or you could just type a number in. We'll just do 45%, and it'll change it like that. Now you can see that this outline has a different opacity around the edge. And that's basically it. This one's going to be a short one. If you have any questions, just leave some comments. I'd like to hear it, and I'll continue making some tutorials if this helps you guys out.